My precious child, I want you to listen closely. From the beginning, through every moment they dismissed you, ignored you, or overlooked you, I never changed how I see you. You walked through seasons with a heart full of devotion. Your intentions were pure, your spirit wide open, and still, the world turned away. You gave your best, and no one clapped. You spoke truth, and they dismissed it. You stayed loyal, and they took it for granted. You brought peace, and the only answer you received was silence. And in the middle of all that, you began to wonder if your presence even mattered. But let me say this clearly, without delay, you were never invisible to me. In heaven, you were never rejected. You were chosen, intentionally, eternally, and irrevocably. You've been through more than anyone knows. People only saw the surface, never the cost behind your persistence. They saw your smile, but missed your pain. You served while tired. You gave strength while secretly hoping someone would offer you theirs. You showed up, even when no one noticed, even when your name was left off the list. But I saw it all, and I recorded every act of faith. Not because I keep score for revenge, but because I honor the consistency others forget. And now, what the world dismissed, I am about to elevate. What they overlooked, I am about to use, not later. Now this is the beginning of your recognition. But before you step forward, I want you to look back, not to reopen pain, but to bring understanding. The silence hurt, not because you wanted fame, but because you simply wanted to be acknowledged. You didn't need worship. You just longed to be seen. That desire is not weakness. It's not pride. I gave you that longing, not so the world could fill it, but so it would lead you back to me, the one who sees completely. That's why I let certain doors stay shut. That's why I told you not yet. Even when you were ready to run, it wasn't to punish you. It was to protect you. It was to heal the parts of you that would have collapsed under premature pressure. You are not forgotten. That's not just a phrase. It's a heaven-sealed truth. I watched you grow in the shadows. I saw you love when no one was watching. I saw you serve with no audience, no applause. And let me tell you, that kind of life is never wasted. The places where they ignored you, those were the very places where I revealed myself more deeply to you. And now, because you've learned to serve in silence, I can trust you with influence that won't destroy your soul. I will place you where your voice will echo, and you won't have to adjust your tone to please the crowd. You'll speak, and others will listen, and you won't crave their applause because you've already lived without it. You're not broken because they didn't choose you. You're not invalid because they didn't believe in you. What was passed over by people was preserved by me. I didn't let the spotlight find you too early because I needed your roots to grow deep. Because I needed your identity to be built on truth, not on shallow praise. And now I'm calling you forward. Not because the world says you're ready, but because I say you are. Let me speak to that weight you've been carrying quietly. The feeling that your consistency didn't matter. The fear that your obedience was wasted. The ache that time is slipping by and you've missed your moment. Hear me. You haven't missed a thing. Heaven counts differently than earth. I don't measure your value by visibility. I don't measure your purpose by platform. I measure by faithfulness, by the state of your heart, the purity of your motives, and your yes, even when it cost you everything and gave you no guarantee. And that's why I'm speaking now, because this moment is turning. This isn't just comfort, it's a summons. I'm not just validating your past, I am activating your future. I am announcing on earth what I've already declared in heaven. It's time to rise, not with apology, but with authority. The season of hiding is ending. The hour of unveiling is here. You were never forgotten. You are being positioned. You were never passed over. You were being preserved. Every delay, every moment of misunderstanding, every hidden place you walked through, none of it was punishment. It was preparation. And now, the harvest from your hidden years is about to bloom. This breakthrough won't just feel like progress. It will feel like justice. Not justice that crushes others, but the kind that restores what was stolen. and honors what you sowed in silence. You'll be stunned, not by how fast the shift happens, but by how perfect my timing always was. What I removed, it made space. What I allowed to exit, it made room. Every disappointment was clearing out what couldn't stay, so I could give you what was truly meant to be yours. And no, you're not being elevated to prove anyone wrong. You're not rising so they'll regret ignoring you. You're being positioned because I was right to choose you, and that is enough. The approval of heaven is your foundation, and that alone will carry you through the next doors I'm about to open. My child, I know what it's felt like to show up again and again, to stay faithful while feeling invisible, to pour out love and energy while silently wondering if your offering mattered. You've smiled while your heart ached, encouraged others while privately questioning your own purpose. But let me be clear, none of it was wasted. Every unseen act, every silent prayer, every moment you chose obedience over applause, I saw it all. You need to understand this. I am not unjust. I don't forget the seeds you sowed in faith, even when no one else saw the tears, the sacrifices, the moments you laid your dreams on the altar. I remembered. And now I'm telling you, the shift has begun. You're not entering a season of maybe. You're entering a season of manifestation. This is not the end of a test. It's the beginning of a calling. You've been prepared in the quiet, so you can carry what's coming in the open. You've been trained in the wilderness so you can thrive in the assignment. The authority I'm placing on your life doesn't come from man's recognition. It comes from heaven's confirmation. And when I call you forward, no one can deny it. So don't let the past echo in your spirit. Don't replay what they said or didn't say. Don't weigh your worth on their silence. You are rising now, not because they applauded, but because I appointed you. You've wondered if your waiting has cost you time. Let me reassure you, you've lost nothing. In my kingdom, nothing surrendered is ever wasted. Nothing given in faith ever disappears. It comes back multiplied. You've been storing treasure in heaven, and now I'm unlocking the vault. Yes, this is the moment I've been preparing you for, but I need you to walk into it with the right mindset. Not wounded, not bitter, not trying to prove yourself to the ones who didn't choose you. This is not about revenge. This is about revelation. I am revealing the real you, the one who endured the silence, overcame the doubt, stayed the course, the one who didn't quit when it hurt. That's the version I'm promoting, not the polished one, the proven one. And what's coming to you? It's not compensation, it's confirmation that I was with you the entire time. I'm not exalting you to show the world who you are. I'm lifting you up to remind the world who I am, faithful, true, and a rewarder of those who diligently seek me. So keep your eyes on me, not on the crowd. When I open the door, walk through it humbly. When I raise your name, bow lower in gratitude. You're not stepping into this season alone. You're stepping in hand with me. I am clearing the way before you. I am aligning every detail. The people you need, I'm sending them. The favor you lack, I'm releasing it. The wisdom you've prayed for, it's on its way. But let me be clear, this elevation isn't a decoration, it's a responsibility. You are being positioned not to be admired, but to impact. You are being trusted, not with stage lights, but with my light, to shine into dark places. You are the answer to someone else's prayer. You are the hope walking into a room. You are the voice of encouragement to the broken, the reminder to the forgotten that they are still loved. And because you've lived in obscurity, you won't be distracted by popularity. Because you've served in the shadows, you'll carry glory without grabbing credit. And because you've been tested in fire, you'll walk in power with humility. So prepare your heart. The season has changed. You're stepping into places you didn't think were meant for you, but they are. You're entering conversations that once excluded you, but now need you. You're being seated at tables where your voice once echoed unheard, but now will bring direction. And you won't have to force it. You won't have to prove anything. You'll just be who I've always seen you as, my chosen one. Let your spirit settle. Let the old pain go. What's ahead is too sacred to carry bitterness with you. You are not arriving late. You're arriving right on time. The delay was divine. The preparation was purposeful. Now, walk forward, not in fear, but in full confidence that heaven has called your name. My beloved, let me speak to the quiet ache you've tried to silence. That question you've buried deep. Am I really chosen? Am I really worthy? Let me answer with certainty. Yes, not because of what you've achieved, but because of who I created you to be. I chose you before the foundations of the world were set in place. I called you by name when no one else saw your potential. Your worth wasn't defined by your wins or losses. It was defined by my love. You've waited, hoping that someone would notice the depth of your heart. You've longed for a place to belong, for someone to say, you matter. And while the world grew distracted, I remained focused on you. Even in your wandering, I watched over you. When you doubted your own purpose, I preserved it. When your hands felt empty, I was filling the space with something greater, a calling no one could take from you. I know there were moments you felt disqualified. You measured yourself by mistakes, by missed opportunities, by seasons that looked like failure. But what you saw as loss, I saw as layers being stripped away, preparing you for something eternal. I don't choose the ones who look impressive. I choose the ones who are willing. I choose those who remain tender when life tries to harden them. And you, my child, have stayed soft through the storms. That is why I trust you. You've loved when you were broken. You've prayed for others while your own soul cried silently. You've cheered for others while feeling forgotten. But I was watching, and I was keeping every tear, every prayer, every sacrifice as holy offerings. Now, the tables are turning. Where you once whispered hope to yourself in the dark, you will now declare it boldly in the light. Where you once were the listener, you'll now be the voice. Where you were overlooked, you will now be sought after, not for fame, but because you carry my spirit. You are a vessel, not of noise, but of presence. People won't come for your performance. They'll come for your peace. They'll feel something in you that can't be explained, because it is me. And when they ask, what changed? You'll say, nothing but God. This season is not about applause. It's about assignment. Not about being lifted up by men, but being anchored by heaven. So release the need to prove yourself. Let go of the fear that you'll miss it again. What I've planned for you isn't fragile. It won't slip through your fingers if you rest in me. The doors I'm opening for you have been carved by my own hand. They won't depend on charm, talent, or timing. They will swing open at the whisper of my voice. And when they do, walk through with reverence, not rush. Don't panic about catching up. What took years to build in the secret place will now flow with ease in the light. Yes, there will be more responsibility. Yes, the weight may feel heavier, but I am strengthening your shoulders. You will not be crushed. You will be carried. This next level requires your full attention. The distractions that once delayed you can no longer follow you. The people who drained your faith cannot walk where you are going, and the patterns that held you back will now be broken. I'm pruning you, not to punish, but to make space for more fruit. The spotlight is not your reward. The intimacy with me is. And because you've guarded that intimacy, I'm trusting you with greater reach. Don't shrink. Don't apologize for the anointing. Don't downplay what I've poured into you. Instead, walk in bold humility, knowing that everything you carry for a purpose bigger than yourself. There are people waiting on the other side of your obedience. There are souls connected to your surrender. There are lives that will be changed because you said yes. And even now, I am placing in your spirit a new level of clarity. You will begin to see with new eyes. Not just through emotion, but through discernment. Not just by reaction, but through revelation. You'll see why I closed those doors. Why I said, wait. Why the platform came later and not sooner. Because if I had released you then, you would have tried to carry it in your own strength. But now, you know better. Now, you lean on me. Now, you understand the power of silence. the beauty of hiddenness, the gift of stillness. And because you've come to love my voice more than their approval, you're ready. This is your moment, not to impress, but to impact. Not to rise above others, but to lift others with you. You are not the same person who first asked me, "Why not me?" You've grown, you've healed, you've yielded, and now you're called. You are standing at the edge of something sacred. The atmosphere around you is shifting, not just spiritually, but tangibly. You may not see all the movement with your natural eyes, but in the unseen realm, I'm aligning details you forgot you prayed for. What felt delayed is now being delivered. What felt denied is now being declared. You've carried dreams that seemed buried, but I never forgot. What others saw as your end, I marked as your beginning. What they buried, I was growing. And now, the ground is about to break open. You've endured seasons of isolation, and they weren't meant to punish you. They were meant to prepare you. In the silence, I shaped your voice. In the stillness, I trained your spirit. When no one was clapping, I was cultivating. You thought no one noticed, but heaven was watching. And because you chose obedience over popularity, I can now trust you with a mantle that isn't heavy with pride, but soaked in humility. This new season will not be carried by striving, but by surrender. You will no longer need to beg for rooms to open. I will call you into them. You won't have to scream to be heard. I will amplify your voice in the right places at the right time. And here's the truth. Your elevation is not an accident. It's not a lucky break. It's the appointed hour. You will walk into spaces where people once overlooked you, and they'll suddenly recognize the weight you carry. Not the weight of ambition, but the weight of my glory. And still, your heart will remain soft. Still, you'll serve with grace. Still, you'll remember the silent seasons. Not with bitterness, but with gratitude. You'll say, if it wasn't for that wilderness, I would have never known how to host his presence. Yes, you are being promoted, but this isn't about visibility. It's about assignment. You are rising because someone needs the message inside you. Someone needs the freedom you've fought for. Someone needs the healing you've received. Someone needs the wisdom I planted in your pain. So don't shrink back now. I know the enemy wants you to doubt yourself, to question your readiness. But haven't I prepared you? Haven't I walked with you through the fire, through the heartbreak, through the rejection? And still, you remained faithful. You didn't let bitterness harden your heart. You didn't let pride distort your identity. You kept coming back to me. That's what qualified you. Not your perfection, but your posture. I saw your surrender, not just in public moments, but in the late hours when your heart was breaking. When you said, God, even if you never promote me, I'll still praise you. And I whispered back, because you've loved me like that, I can now release what I've kept reserved for you. Now is not the time to dim your light to make others comfortable. Shine with boldness and kindness. Lead with confidence and compassion. Speak with truth and grace. You are not arrogant for embracing your assignment. You are not prideful for accepting my calling. You're simply saying yes to what I always saw in you, even when others didn't. And this next part of your journey, you won't walk it alone. I am assigning divine connections. People who carry my heart. They won't compete with you. They'll cover you. They'll celebrate your calling without feeling threatened. They'll walk beside you with unity, not ego. I am removing counterfeit voices. I'm protecting you from leeches and users. I'm guarding your space, your heart, and your peace. Because where I'm taking you, you'll need clarity like never before. The delay was not a rejection. It was a recalibration. I was aligning things, both in you and around you. I had to grow your patience, not to punish you, but to strengthen your capacity. You see, what I'm giving you now isn't small. It's not temporary. It's weighty, and it carries eternal purpose. You needed depth for what's ahead. If I had released you too soon, the cracks would have shown. You would have carried my assignment with your own strength, and that would have crushed you. So I let you walk slower. I let you wonder. I let you grow. But now, the release is here. Don't second guess this moment. You're not stepping into it by accident. You're stepping into it by design. And though it feels unfamiliar, this is exactly where you belong. You were born for this rhythm. You were shaped for this influence. You were designed for this authority. But don't confuse this calling with comfort. Yes, you will see blessing, but it will come with weight, a holy responsibility. There will be voices that try to distract. There will be opinions that try to derail. But I have trained your ears to recognize my voice above all noise. Follow me, and you will not be shaken, because you know what it is to be hidden. You will not lose yourself in visibility, because you know what it is to lack. You will not worship the blessing, because you know what it is to wait. You will not rush the process. This next level is about impact, not image. It's about stewardship, not status. And even now, I am softening the hearts of those who once misunderstood you. I'm allowing them to see clearly, not so you can be exalted, but so my glory is undeniable. This is what I meant when I said, I prepare a table in the presence of your enemies. It's not to shame them, it's to show them what my hand can do with a yielded life. So eat, laugh again, speak without fear, lead with grace. Because the very places where you were once dismissed will now be places of divine encounter. Not because you demanded it, but because I orchestrated it. And as you rise, remember the altar. Remember the nights of tears. Remember the silent yes. Those are the foundations of this season. You are not building from scratch, you are building from sacrifice. You didn't climb your way up, you bowed your way forward. And that posture, that surrender, is what makes you usable in my hands. There is more coming, more than you prayed for, more than you believed was possible. But it won't overwhelm you, because I've prepared your heart, I've stretched your spirit, and now you will carry it all. Not with fear, but with freedom. You've been faithful over little. Now, I'm making you ruler over much. Walk boldly, stand tall, speak life. You are not here by chance. You are here by my choosing. And because I chose you, no one can cancel what I've ordained. My child, you've walked a long road, and heaven has counted every step, every silent tear, every selfless act, every hidden sacrifice. It's all been seen. And now, the shift you've been sensing in your spirit. It's not your imagination. It's the echo of heaven saying, now begins the unveiling. What the world overlooked, I recorded. What others ignored, I honored. And what seemed buried, I have preserved for this very moment. Let me speak to the tiredness you've carried. Not just physical, but the soul-tired weariness that comes from always being the strong one, the dependable one. The one who gives and gives, yet often feels unseen. I saw you carry others while you were crumbling inside. I watched you keep pouring from a cup that felt empty, and still, you didn't stop. Not because you had endless strength, but because you had relentless faith. Now listen closely. This next season will not require striving. It will require surrender. What I am doing in and through you now isn't coming through your hustle. It's coming through your alignment. Through your yes, through your daily decision to trust me when logic tells you to quit. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to be famous to be fruitful. You don't have to have a platform to have purpose. You've learned to hear my voice in the quiet, and because of that, I can now trust you with the kind of influence that carries my heart, not just my message. You're not just being elevated, you're being entrusted. But I need you to understand this. With new visibility comes a new kind of weight. This isn't about pressure, it's about posture. You must stay rooted, stay anchored, stay in step with me. Let me pace you. There will be acceleration, yes, but not chaos. Things that once felt impossible will begin unfolding quickly. Doors you thought were locked will swing wide, and when they do, you won't have to force them open. You'll simply walk through, not as someone trying to prove their place, but as someone who knows they were called for it. Don't let old wounds make you question new blessings. Don't let past rejection cause you to doubt present favor. This is not manipulation. It's not coincidence. It's me. It's always been me. I've been building while you were breaking. I've been designing while you were weeping. And now that the foundation is healed, I can build something that lasts. You've spent years thinking you were being delayed. but truly, you were being developed. Now that the silence has served its purpose, I'm giving you a sound. Your voice will carry clarity, compassion, and fire because it was refined in pain. Don't be afraid to speak now. Don't hold back your testimony. Your words have weight, not because they're perfect, but because they are pure. People will come to you not for your knowledge, but for your oil. They will sense the cost you've paid. They will recognize the authenticity that only comes through fire. And they will listen, not to your resume, but to your rhythm. This is the beginning of influence with integrity. But even now, I'm calling you back to the altar. Don't get so busy walking through open doors that you forget the place you were shaped. The secret place, the still place, the holy space where my voice still whispers your name. Come back daily. Let me refill you before you pour again. Let me speak before you speak. Let me lead before you move. This isn't just about launching, it's about sustaining. What I've built in you is deep, but it must be maintained through intimacy. Because if you stop listening, you'll start striving again. And that's not the way forward. You didn't survive all that just to fall back into overworking. You didn't endure all that healing just to pick up fear again. You are not the same. You are steadier. You are quieter in the right ways. You are stronger, not in image, but in spirit. And most of all, you are surrendered. So don't shrink now. Don't second-guess the doors I open. Walk through. Not with arrogance, but with authority. You've been hidden, not forgotten. You've been preserved, not passed over. You've been refined, not rejected. And now, what I've spoken in secret, I will fulfill in public. Get ready. This is only the beginning. What's next is not just recognition, it's release, it's responsibility, and it's reward. My child, you are not walking into this season by accident. This moment has been prepared for you, not hastily, but carefully. And the reason the process felt long is because the foundation had to be deep. Because what I'm building in you isn't temporary, it's eternal. You may not have had the support of many, but you had the hand of the one, and that is enough. You don't need applause to confirm your calling. You don't need titles to validate your purpose. You don't need to prove yourself to people who never saw the weight of your journey. I saw it. I was there. And I wasn't just watching, I was weaving. You thought I was silent, but I was speaking in the details. You thought I was distant, but I was closer than your breath. You thought you were forgotten, but I was memorizing your every tear. And now the time of silence is over. The voice you developed in the shadows will now echo with light. The faith you forged in hiddenness will now guide others out of darkness. The hope you clung to will now be the banner you carry. You're not coming forward to compete. You're stepping up to serve. You are a carrier of healing, a vessel of truth, a voice for those who forgot what love sounds like. And I need you to walk in this without apology. You don't have to explain why you're favored. You don't have to justify why you've been chosen. You don't have to convince anyone of your transformation. The fruit will speak. The presence will speak. The peace you carry will speak. And those who once overlooked you will wonder how they missed it. But you won't carry bitterness. You'll carry mercy. Because you've been refined in love. The wilderness taught you who I am. And now you will show others who I can be. You will lead, not by domination, but by demonstration. You'll lead with presence, not pressure. With conviction, not control. With gentleness that shakes walls. And kindness that breaks chains. I'm giving you influence with compassion. I'm giving you reach without losing your roots. And I'm sending you into rooms that you won't have to force your way into. You won't strive, you'll be summoned. Because favor doesn't chase clout. Favor follows character. And you, my child, have been building character in silence. You've refused shortcuts. You've resisted bitterness. You've remained steady when quitting felt easier. And that's why you're ready now. But remember this, the assignment is bigger than your comfort. This is about kingdom, not convenience. This is about people, not platform. This is about purpose, not performance. You're being trusted with lives, not likes. So stay rooted, stay yielded, stay at my feet. Because every time you return to me, you'll be refilled. And every time you rest in me, you'll be recentered. And every time you remember why you started, you'll keep moving without burnout. This is not your spotlight season. This is your surrender season. And from surrender comes supernatural strength. From obedience comes overflow. From humility comes honor. So walk softly but boldly. Stay low but rise high. Move slowly but forward. I have cleared the way. I have spoken your name in rooms you've never entered. And I've been preparing hearts to receive what you carry. They won't see you coming, but they'll recognize me in you when you arrive. This is the divine unveiling, the release of what's been reserved, the moment when the called one walks fully in their name. And my child, your name has always been known in heaven. Now it's time for earth to echo it too. My beloved, you may not feel ready. You may still wrestle with self-doubt. But what I've placed inside you isn't based on feelings. It's based on truth. And the truth is, you are anointed for this. You've been stretched. You've been refined. You've walked through fire and came out carrying peace, not pride. That's how I know you're ready. You've stood when you could have sat. You've spoken hope when your own heart was breaking. You've shown up when no one applauded. You've led with love when others led with ego. And now, I will place you where your heart will finally feel the ease of divine rhythm. Not ease because life becomes perfect, but ease because you're no longer forcing things that were never yours. This is your season of alignment. I'm bringing the right people, the right provision, the right opportunities, the right pace. No more rushing to keep up. No more striving to be seen. No more comparison. No more insecurity. You will walk with confidence, not from applause, but from conviction. I've taught you how to walk alone. Now I'll teach you how to walk in unity. Not with just anyone, but with those who carry honor, with those who speak truth, with those who aren't impressed by your talent, but are drawn to your integrity. And even as I expand your reach, I will protect your soul, because I care more about who you're becoming than where you're going. This journey is not about proving people wrong. It's about showing people what's possible when someone remains faithful. You don't need revenge. You need restoration. And that's exactly what I'm giving you. I'm restoring your joy, restoring your energy, restoring your voice, restoring your peace. What the enemy tried to steal, I'm returning in double portion. Where there was confusion, there will now be clarity. Where there was loss, there will now be legacy. Where there was weakness, there will now be wisdom. And when people ask how it happened, you will say with no hesitation, it was God. Only God. Because you'll know this wasn't a lucky break. This was a holy breakthrough. You'll speak from a place of healing. You'll lead from a place of wholeness. You'll love from a place of strength. And you'll give, not because you have extra, but because you now live from overflow. You're not entering this next season as the same person who was once wounded. You're entering as the one who has been rebuilt, brick by brick, prayer by prayer, tear by tear, faith by faith. And I didn't just rebuild you, I reinforced you. So when the pressure comes, you won't collapse. When the winds blow, you won't break. Because you're not standing on image, you're standing on identity. You've been hidden in me, and now I am revealing you through me. So don't look back. Don't try to make sense of the things I've already closed. Don't reopen the doors I've shut. Don't return to the places I've pulled you from. Forward. That's the direction now. You're not just healed, you're commissioned. You're not just ready, you're equipped. You're not just released, you're assigned. Go forth, not with anxiety, but with authority. The same power that raised Christ from the dead lives in you. You are not weak. You are not fragile. You are not behind. You are chosen. You are covered. You are called. And you will walk in all that I have spoken. My child, you've waited long enough. You've endured enough. You've believed in the promise when all the evidence seemed to vanish. And now I say, step into the fulfillment. This is not a distant someday. This is now. I am accelerating what looked stalled. I am breathing life into what seemed finished. I am doing what only I can do, restoring, redeeming, resurrecting. The season of stretching has made space for this release. You didn't understand it while it was happening, but I was building capacity in you. Capacity for vision, capacity for relationships, capacity for leadership, capacity to carry what you once could only dream about. Others may say, "How did you get here?" But you will know, you didn't get here on ambition. You got here on surrender. You chose humility over platform, obedience over recognition, integrity over shortcuts. And now I am rewarding the unseen. This is harvest. This is what obedience looks like when it blooms. And it will not destroy you, because I built you for this. I know your breaking points, and I've already strengthened the places that used to be weak. You won't collapse under this. You'll thrive in it. Yes, you'll be stretched again. Yes, it will challenge you. But this time, you'll stretch from strength, not survival. Because this time, you're not building with brokenness. You're building with clarity, with courage, with clean hands, and a pure heart. You no longer need to prove you've healed. Your fruit will show it. You don't need to explain your growth. Your peace will carry it. And you don't need to look over your shoulder anymore. The past is not chasing you. I've closed those doors with finality. The voices that once discouraged you will go quiet, not because you silenced them, but because I've removed their influence over your life. You are no longer under their commentary. You are under my covering. And with that covering comes confidence, not rooted in ego, but in purpose. So walk boldly, speak gently, live intentionally. There are people waiting for what you carry. There are lives assigned to your obedience. There are generations attached to your yes. And your next step isn't small, it's strategic. Every move is being guided. Every decision is being watched over. Every door you walk through is covered in my favor. You've dreamed it before. Now you will live it. You've prayed it in faith. Now you will hold it in your hands. But let me remind you, this isn't just about you. You've been trusted with more because you're willing to pour. You will pour wisdom into the ones just starting. You will pour healing into the ones still hurting. You will pour clarity into the ones still questioning. You're not rising to escape. You're rising to reach, because I didn't just raise you up. I've set you apart. You are not common. You are not average. You are not random. You are marked. You are sealed by heaven's call. You carry heaven's purpose, and you will complete heaven's assignment. So go forward, not as who you were, but as who I've always seen you becoming. My beloved child, take a deep breath. You've come so far, not just in distance, but in depth. Your journey has not only shaped your story, it has transformed your soul. You are not the same person who began this path. Where there was once hesitation, there is now holy confidence. Where there was once confusion, there is now clarity and purpose. Where there was once longing to be seen, now there is rest, because you know you've always been seen by me. Let me remind you once more, you were not chosen by earth, and that's okay, because you were chosen by heaven. Your name was written on my heart long before you were ever overlooked by others. This final chapter isn't the end. It's the release. Everything you've endured, every valley you crossed, every tear that fell in secret, it was not for nothing. It was an investment, a divine deposit into the life you're about to live. The crushing wasn't your ending. It was the pressing that produced your oil. The silence wasn't abandonment. It was my way of deepening your ears to hear me above the noise. The waiting wasn't punishment. It was preparation for glory. And now I say this to you. Walk in the room like someone who belongs, not with arrogance, but with assurance. Speak as one who has walked with me, not merely read about me. Lead not with loudness, but with my authority flowing through your gentleness. Let them wonder how you made it through. Let them ask why you still have peace. Let them marvel at the light that glows in your eyes. And let your answer be simple. It was the Lord. Your victory will not just be personal, it will be generational. Your obedience today will break cycles in your family. Your surrender will open doors your bloodline has never walked through before. Your posture of worship will invite heaven into places that were once barren. You will be the first to carry freedom in your hands. You will be the first to walk with dignity instead of shame. You will be the first to stand, not bowed under heaviness, but lifted by purpose. But be clear, this is not only for you. I raised you up to be a beacon, a voice, a safe place for the weary, a living altar of my goodness. So be generous with what you've received. Speak truth in love, release wisdom with grace, and carry my spirit with joy. Let your life be a sermon, spoken with your presence. Let your silence still carry authority. Let your kindness correct louder than any shout. You will not need to chase opportunities. They will find you because you carry my presence. You will not have to compete. You will collaborate with kingdom-hearted people I send to you, and they will recognize you, not by popularity, but by purity. They will hear something in your voice that cannot be faked. The sound of someone who has been with me. Stay close, stay low, stay yielded. Your strength will come not from striving, but from abiding. Your impact will not come from forcing, but from flowing. And even when more is entrusted to you, more people, more platform, more provision, let me remain your first pursuit. Because the same voice that called you in the dark will sustain you in the spotlight. Never forget the secret place. That's where we first met. That's where you were healed. That's where your calling was confirmed, not by applause, but by my whisper. And in the years to come, no matter how wide the path becomes, always come back to that sacred ground. Come back to the quiet. Come back to the tears that watered your dreams. Come back to the moments where nothing made sense, but you chose to believe anyway, because that's where your oil flows from, and that's where I'll continue to refill you. You have been faithful in obscurity. Now you will be fruitful in visibility, not to steal glory, but to reflect it. You are not the star, I am, but you are the lamp I've set on a hill, and from your light others will see me more clearly. This is your moment. Not to rise above, but to rise within, to expand, to flourish, to reign in love, in peace, in wisdom, in grace. You will be misunderstood. Not everyone will celebrate. Some will question what they never had the faith to believe. But do not answer bitterness with bitterness. Answer it with my character, with compassion, with calm, because your vindication doesn't come from proving them wrong. It comes from continuing to walk with me. Let them say what they will. You've already heard what I've said, and my word stands forever. You are chosen. You are my beloved. You are marked, not by man, but by heaven. No title can give you what I've already declared over you. No failure can erase what I've planted within you. No delay can stop what I've written in your future. So rise, my child. This is not the end. It's your divine beginning. The curtain is lifting. The light is shining. The story is unfolding. And you will walk boldly, in truth, in tenderness, in fire, in favor. This is your time, not because you earned it, but because I ordained it. And I don't change my mind. You were ignored by earth, but chosen by heaven. And heaven's choice is final. Now go, live, lead, shine. For I am with you, always. And now, beloved, if this message stirred your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to know. They are not forgotten. They are not too late. They are chosen. Let these words echo in your heart today. You are seen. You are loved. And God is not finished with you. If this spoke to you, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss another word from heaven. Until next time, keep walking by faith. Keep trusting His timing, and remember, heaven's choice is final. God bless you.